Hey everyone. So today we have Cüneyt of Champs CX. Champs CX is one of the leading global customer experience and customer support flexible talent platforms. Now, there are two immediate things that I want you to take away from this episode. The first is the need for a fully global talent strategy. What I mean by that is whether you're sitting in San Francisco, Boston, London, wherever you are, it is crucially important to have a fully globally covered workforce. The second is, I want you to understand how flexible talent has permeated and is embedding within existing industries and really is just a better solution more times than not. In this case, we're going to be talking about customer experience. Back to the global. A crucial point when thinking about Champs CX in this episode is that Cüneyt is sitting somewhere that we're all going to be very jealous of, and that is Istanbul. Now, the reason that this is so important from a global perspective is that Turkey has always been the bridge to the world, where East meets West, where West meets East, you name it. The last thing I really want you to hear for as well is how customer experience permeates everything, and how customer experience probably will never, ever, ever be replaced by AI, but is needed to be augmented by AI. And one massive call out I want to have to all of you is every time you say AI right now, I want you to then say flexible talent, because an AI strategy without the right talent strategy is doomed to fail. All right, without further ado, enjoy the episode, then go reach out to Champs CX right away. Cüneyt, thank you for hopping on. This is absolute years in the making. We are super excited to have you for two reasons. One being that customer experience is going through a massive, massive transformation. Can't wait to hear from you what you're seeing, especially as it relates to both AI and the flexible workforce. It seems like both of these things are really crushing it. And then also just your very, very deep experience in the CX, the BPO, all of this world. And I've been able to see, Champs and really, really understand that, okay, yeah, this is definitely one of the best customer experience solutions out there. So we're pumped to have you. Do you want to do a quick little intro for yourself and also tell the audience where you are, because everyone's going to be really jealous when they find out where you're located.
First of all, thank you very much for having me, Matt. It is a genuine pleasure to be with you here and to talk about CX and the future of business and workforce. It is absolute genuine fun for us. Currently located in Istanbul, and a beautiful city in between Asia and Europe. And the weather is quickly improving, so it is about the best time to hit to Istanbul and enjoy the city. So I would welcome anyone who would want to drop by. Related with myself, I have been in high tech sector for more than I think 30 years now. I've been into telecoms, I've been into software, I've been into for the last almost 10 years into e-commerce, and during the last more than I guess 2 years, I'm dedicating 100% of my time for Champs, which is specialized in customer experience (CX), and this is basically it.
I love it. So, before we get into like the nitty gritty business stuff, give us we're all really jealous about the fact that you're in Istanbul. So give us a daily day or even a daily weekend. Because what I'm imagining is you wake up, you have a delicious breakfast, you go and you just have all the good pastries, a bunch of good baklava. Then you go and you eat again and you have incredible either kebab or Turkish food. And then you go back to the baklava. But give us, because there's a lot of just raw curiosity around, you are in one of the coolest places ever. And Please tell us, tell us what it's like, and then we'll all fly to meet you in Champs and do exactly what you're about to tell us.
Well, Matt, I don't really want to crush your parade here, or else, but it doesn't happen that way. I mean, if it was the case, we would do. Probably 50% of the country would be obese or overweight or having cardiac issues because the food that you're talking about is extremely delicious, but they're so powerful. I mean, in baklava, there are huge levels of sugar and flour and this and that. So that is almost like a jet fuel. So we don't eat it every day. And for kebab, it goes the same way. I mean, it is at the end of the day, it is red meat, a lot of spices, this and that. So they're not easy to live with if you eat them every day. But we are blessed to have them. On the other hand, because we can have it anytime you want, but you have to be very careful with those kind of stuff because that can easily derail you and you can you can become very happy but physically in a quite difficult situation. But yeah, I mean, living in Istanbul or in Turkey is extremely rewardful in terms of food and weather and things to be done and pursued. But like I said, at the end of the day, you have to be very careful with that stuff. Those are powerful stuff.
That is incredible. Okay, well, noted. So when I'm there for a week, then I will, pig out, feast out. But let's get into the journey to Champs. And so you were at Alibaba. You can do whatever you want, right? You didn't need to go start Champs. There's a lot of other stuff you could do, but instead you're at Champs, right? So give us the journey of, I would say honestly, Janet, the last 5 to 10 years, because then we'll really deeply understand both what's happening with customer experience, what's happening with the flexible workforce, what's happening with technology, and it'll kind of give us our base. So tell us about the journey.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're quite right. I have spent nearly all my life in large corporations like Microsoft, Telecom Italia Mobile, Grenke Leasing of Germany, and then almost like 9 years around in Alibaba.com, taking care of multiple markets and so on. But after a certain point, I actually arrived into a point where I feel that I should be doing something different, which will actually make a real difference. This was the first motive, and the second one was I actually consider myself as one of the Generation Z. Who arrived almost like 20 or 25 years earlier than what I should do, because when I take a look at my career and my personal life, I feel almost the same as a teenager because I get bored of doing the same thing for too long, and I need to change it from time to time. I have a huge need to learn new things, and because otherwise, like I said, I get too bored and I lose my, let's say, attention for it or need to pursue the goals, this and that. So what I did was in this case to jump into a totally new area, which was totally new to me, but it was shining like gold. It was glittering because it was it was going to be so rewarding, and it was going to touch a lot of people's lives. It was going to be very fulfilling. This was the reason why I jumped into the idea of Champs CX. Like I said, because it was different. It was a unbeaten path. Uh, very few people was choosing it, but I could have seen it from a distance that this was the future, and I have the chance to touch maybe thousands of people's lives and make a positive change. So this was my main motivation. to take the chance and move into Champs and start learning about CX and how we can do things differently and so on. So it is still very exciting, and it was very exciting at the beginning as well.
So can you give us a lay of the land, because this is one of the confusing things about customer experience, is that technically it's a very broad term, right? And we talk about call centers, talk about customer support, are we talking about really, really highly scaled, M365 tickets? Are we, like, so the world of CX can seem really confusing. So if we could start by you just giving us a lay of the land of what do we mean by CX, then another aspect I do want to hit on is you all work fully global. So you have US clients, you have European clients, you have MENA clients. And one of the aspects is why Turkey, right? Like why didn't you go set up in India or the US or Poland? You're in Turkey, right? So, second, if you could give us a land of just the champs slash Turkey landscape as well. So, let's start with the CX, okay? Talk to me
Mhm.
like I'm a total idiot, Jeanette, because I am, in terms of what is the CX world? What is the landscape? Who are the players? Yeah, over to you.
Absolutely. So, as namely CX depicts here, it is customer experience, which means uh, regardless of through which channel you're touching your customer, it can be written, it can be voice, it can be data, it can be even AI these days. These are all channels that you're touching to your customer and you're creating an experience. The idea here is to create the best version of that experience, whatever it might be, and please your customers. So make them come back again. Actually, you can. Most of the people think that CX or customer experience lines, BPOs, this and that, they're to be seen like the uh, well, how can I put it? I'm trying to be delicate here. They're to be seen like something that comes at the end of the game, and you just happen to call them unless nothing is sold, some sort of stuff. But the thing is, the callers of that particular service here, if they are served properly, if they're happy with the service that they get, if they're leaving the company with a positive experience, that actually boosts their loyalty, and this is a fact. So you can see our line of business as the last line of defense. Whenever people exhaust their options, they hit us with some expectation of their problems to be solved in a quality fashion, in a satisfying fashion. So if you can accomplish that, then you create a hugely loyal customer base because I mean, let's face it, we're going to have problems in any service, in any market, in any product. This is inevitable. I mean, nothing works 100%, and there will be something going wrong at some point. But the trick is if you can handle this one uh, quickly and swiftly and resolve it in a positive manner, that is actually the trigger for the customer to come back and work with you again because he or she will know that if anything goes wrong, we will have their back. And this is a huge relief for a customer, for a consumer, or for a business. So this is what it is. I mean, I don't want to get into details of the types of BPOs, like brick and mortar BPOs, the hybrid BPOs, the total fragmented BPOs, or the I can say digital BPOs these days. But at the end of the day, This is all coming up together, and this is all being built up to create a positive experience for our customers, for our consumers, and like I said, it is becoming a hugely important aspect, especially for elderly people. It might be interesting because they're not hugely competent on getting onto computers or phones, this and that. So what happens is they grab their phone and make a call. And so this is still one of the important aspects of our business here. And although it is evolving into something else, inevitably with the touch of the let's say AI or technology, but still it has a huge portion for being used by the legacy systems, like the brick and mortar BPOs.
So before we get into, because I do think I do want to hit the head on AI, to be honest, just in terms of what's been the impact, where do you see it impacting? But what we've seen is that, and this is where, the human cloud book is one half human cloud, one half machine cloud. So we've been tracking AI honestly since as early as 2016, back when it was deep learning, neural networks, machine learning, right? Like, so we're not surprised.
Mhm.
The idea of the current status of AI being more of the chat interface, the ability for anyone to be able to work with it, okay, that's different. But what we're seeing is the more that we're just going to call it, the more that AI, more the AI rises, the more that the human experiences become ever more important. And it's almost like every company has dreamed of, what if we just had digital agents? And this is not new, right? There's been chatbots forever, like,
Nah.
hi Delta, click one if, right? Like, none of this is new. But the impact of an actual human to be there, I can't imagine that going away nor actually decreasing in importance. And the analogy I'll use of like when CX works well is, like, I fly a lot, as you know, right? So for
Yeah.
me, I used to fly a bunch of different airlines, but then I had one bad experience actually with Delta, and I picked up the phone and actually talked to someone, and it was the sweetest, lady in the Midwest who was so nice, to the point that I said, Art, I'm going to work with Delta forever, just because of how good that conversation was. Right? So the power of CX is massive. Now, where do you see, or what do you see right now in terms of what are some of the top things that are happening? Are you seeing that companies are hiring internal for CX right now? Are you seeing that BPOs are rising? Are you seeing that there are these new models like yours? What are you seeing as sort of the top shifts and trends and things happening across the CX landscape?
Okay. First of all, the experience that you described is exactly what I'm referring to. You had a problem with the airlines, and you hit the phone, and then you get a sweet experience, and then now you're a very very loyal customer for that specific airline, which is totally what I'm referring to. This is the power of CX. This is the power of uh, just making the customers have a satisfying experience with the customer. So this is like I said, the last line of defense, and if you can manage it well, it's a lifesaver, and it is one of the things that need to be uh, taken into care while planning the customer experiences. So if we jump into the AI world now, I see this as uh, I think it was, you can help me with that. I think it was around 2000s when we have the dot-com bubble, right? It should be around that time, and everyone was setting up companies, doing this dot com, doing that dot com, and the bubble just got bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, and then boomed on our faces. So, and I call these years the Wild West of dot com, and I almost see the same pattern in AI these days because everyone is in a AI frenzy, thinking that AI is the new prophet or new savior, and everyone can do anything with AI, and AI is going to be the curing medicine for all kinds of problems, which I think is far away from what it is today. Eventually, I think it will. I don't think it will be a cure for everything. I don't think it will be the case, but 100% it is going to evolve. And as it evolves, we will also evolve with it and learn how to use it and make best use of it. I mean, let's face it, it is almost like a crazy Mustang, crazy stallion, where we just barely hang on it and we don't know how to ride it, and the animal is still very raw and very wild, but we are just trying to stay on the saddle, within time we will get used to each other, and we will learn how to tame it because it's a very strong tool. And this actually will take some time for us to get used to it and learn how to make best use of it. So the same goes for CX as well. I mean, currently we have some very mainstream coming up from AI, starting from online translation services and co-pilot services, while the agent is serving to a customer. The AI listens to it and then suggests the best course of solution to the live agent, this and that. So I mean, inevitably, these technologies will converge. There's no running away from it. But as you put it during asking your questions, I don't think humans will disappear from CX.
Yeah.
For two reasons. The first reason, the customers don't want it yet. I mean, we're not there yet. The customers might be willing to get engaged with an AI for very simple things like, I don't know, when you order something from Amazon and it is late, and then you just want to check where my cargo is. That kind of stuff could be handled by AI. But if you go beyond that, especially if you go something which is much more crucial, like banking or more important issues, then people really want to talk with another human being who can actually sympathize. I think the keyword here is about is really about sympathizing, and because, like I said, people are looking forward to get a positive experience during that conversation, and they need to feel that they're sympathized, they're being taken care of, and they're talking to human, and this is still very high on demand. I mean, this is a fact. And the second one is, although when we have coffee, when we have talks over coffee with our friends from high tech companies, this and that, they admit that, okay, AI is progressing with huge speed, and it is progressing almost like a blaze coming on. But the thing is, it is not still there yet. I mean, it's almost like word of mouth. Everyone is talking about something, saying, "Oh, I've seen this on AI and doing this, doing that, blah blah blah." But the reality is, when you put it to work, it is not there yet. So the customers are not happy with it. I mean, I'm not going to tell the names, but there has been a huge comeback from one of the major players from CX world, who actually declared that, I think it's been a year, declared that they will be. They actually switched a majority of their agents into AI. But then now they also announced that they're rolling back because people are not happy dealing continuously with AI, because AI is not there yet. I mean, I'm not blaming AI because the thing is, it is not ready yet. It is not there yet. So we're just trying to, uh, beating the heck out of AI and trying to get the answers out of it. But it is not mature yet. It's almost like if I'm to use an allegory, it is almost like the junior basketball players. I mean, these guys are 2 meters long, but they're 14. I mean, you might think that they're grown-ups, so looking at their sizes, but they're not. I mean, they're okay. They're big, they're tall, but they're 14. They're still kids. I think this is the same situation with AI. I mean, when you look at from a distance, you see that it is huge. It is coming up. It looks shiny, everything, but let's face it, it is new and it is still learning. It has a great potential, but I don't think we're at the point where we can let AI do anything and everything for us yet, especially for CX. Like I said, since the customers are still looking forward to have a human interaction at some point. I mean, I think it is going to be a hybrid future because let's face it, for very easy, for very straightforward uh, jobs, it might not be feasible to use humans because let's face it, it is expensive. It is valuable, or I can say rather than expensive. It is both expensive and valuable. So there's no point in using this resource for maybe for very simple stuff. In that sense, it might be okay to use AI, this and that. But when things escalate and need a higher attention, then it will probably have to be switched back to humans, where people can get their problems solved and have empathy and have human interaction, and then leave the company with a sense of fulfillment. So this is actually driving us into a hybrid space for customer experience where AI technology and human touch actually blends in and creates the perfect, uh, let's say, customer experience here.
Yeah. So I want to get into who, and specifically who is going to own this, who is going to actually use this, who's responsible for this. But before that, I do want to call out that a word we've been seeing a lot is the word bifurcation, which literally just means, right, separating into two. And we're seeing the bifurcation of high quality, usually low volume, and low quality, high volume. And this is not new to AI. Technology is always just taken over the discrete, explicit, low quality, or low complexity type stuff, right? And I think that's totally it. A couple of weeks ago, Microsoft said 30% of their code could be written by AI. Not surprised, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
is that the code that is differentiating, creating brand new UI, UX experience? Like, I don't think so. And just like with customer experience, okay, you might nail having the best CX agent, but I already have this thing called Siri, right? We already have all these quote unquote agents. And the reality is, the more they become the same, the more I'm craving for, please give me Lisa in the Midwest who I can have a good conversation with, that I don't want to be trained like a model, right? So
yeah.
I just want to make sure we're seeing the word bifurcation used a lot. But so, in all of this, one of the major questions is, who is actually going to own this? And so let's say I'm responsible for a massive customer experience budget within my enterprise. And I traditionally have had my go to BPOs. I'm internally resourced at 20 to 40%. One, what do you see happening? Should I be decreasing headcount, increasing BPO? Should I be maintaining everything the same and going to a platform like Champs? And then also, what is the management structure? Because if you were to tell me the world is going independent, hybrid slash remote, To me, that sounds like, oh no, 1,000 more employees that I can't manage. I need somebody to help me with that. And so the impact of a managed service. So what do I need to be doing as the leader that owns the CX budget here?
I think this is a very, very good question because this actually touches the epicenter of the change that we're having now. And you can see this as an earthquake coming on, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, all you can do is uh, brace or take some measures before it arrives. And if you're clever enough as a customer service manager, you should prepare yourself for it. So meaning if you let the change hit you, then it will be devastating for your organization. But if you lead the change and take the necessary measures, see what's coming, and prepare yourself and your company, your organization for that, then that is actually a different story. Meaning, I mean, let's face it, this is coming for years. Especially with the rise of the Gen Z, especially after the pandemic, people don't really want to spend their lives as their fathers and mothers have done. Meaning they don't want to stick with companies for 25 years. They don't want to work 9 to 5. They don't really want to be specialized on one single thing. They're hungry for knowledge. They want to learn new stuff. They want to experience new stuff. They want to spend time with their own. They want to spend time with their families. So, I mean, when I was new working back in 19 end of 90s, there was the concept that you should be spending at least 5 to 10 years in a company so that you would be eligible to change your job for another company. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that was not my profile. I was an early Gen Z example, so uh, most of the time before 5 years, I was changing jobs. And the question that I was receiving 100% from the interview was, "Why are you changing your job? I mean, why so early?" And I was having hard time explaining them that okay, I learned what I have to. I had the experience. Now I'm looking for something new. So this is actually becoming mainstream in today's workforce. So like I said, the people who are going to be working within the next 20 years in any segment, in any sector, will be different than who we were. So the people who are managing these kind of lines have to be prepared for that. And the legacy workforce or the legacy way of doing business is not going to be working or is not going to be a solution for the next 20 years. It is totally different. So today what I see is I think it is rapidly going to be evolving into a hybrid model where we see the brick and mortar legacy BPO systems still in place for, I don't know, for mission critical tasks. It might be about security, it might be technical support, it might be uh, I don't know, high risk support, whatever, where you have to have very stable people with high technical expertise doing the same thing for same customers every day, which might be crucial for their business model. Okay, this is fine, but I think this is getting smaller and smaller by the day with the effect of AI. But other than that, I think it is becoming more and more, people are becoming more and more open to fractional workers. And in that sense, also there's a very transformative, let's say, wave coming up because at the beginning of those years, you know way better than me, uh, when people were having platforms for hiring fractional workers, it was the customers versus the talents, meaning they were getting directly in touch with people who just want to employ, which does not ensure the quality of the business from the customer side, and it actually does not guarantee the collection issue for the talent as well. I mean, there have been cases that the quality of the job was not good enough and no one can control it. Or on the other hand, it was a very high quality result, but the fragment user or the freelancer couldn't collect his money. So these are the down. These might be the downsides, but our actually solution to that was we appeared from day one as a managed service company, meaning we are standing in between the customer and the freelancer, so that we ensure from customer standpoint we use a single contract for the customers as a legacy BPO company, and we are the sole responsible for the project. We are responsible for the KPIs, OKRs, you name it, full nine yards there. Everything is we are accountable for everything.
Yeah.
So in that sense, we are no different than a classical BPO for a customer. And but we the relationship between our talents, our freelancers, is actually making the difference. Meaning, as we are using freelancers, this is actually giving us a huge flexibility, which we can reflect to the customers. Because as we can have as many people as we want for a project and train them online as short as we can, meaning that we can easily cure their hiccups or high seasons easily and then pull back our people when the need is over. So this is a huge flexibility for us and for the customer as well. And the second one would be the efficiency for cost, because in our model everyone is working from their home, and this is also a very carbon minimal workforce, because we don't travel every day. We eat home, and we use our own devices, and this is actually making our carbon footprint very minimal in that sense. We're not wasting any time, especially in a city like in Istanbul, where you have to travel maybe more than 1 hour to get to your office and 1 hour getting back home, and spending on that gasoline and creating carbon this and that. So this is also, as we're not having a fixed building or anything, this is also giving us an effective cost reduction here. And the last but not least, as we're working with high caliber people, because our people working with us, 90% of them is higher educated. They're university graduates, and this actually we think and believe and know that this actually is creating a huge difference. I mean, in a nutshell, if I am to wrap this up, this is going to be the hybrid model is going to be, I think, the future for the next, I don't know, at least 5 years. Beyond that, I'm not sure, because I cannot foresee how quickly AI will evolve. And depending on that evolvement, the tip of the scale might, be moving towards being more digital, or it might still be where it is. I mean, we don't know how people will react to that. But like I said, I'm not expecting the market to go where it was like 10 years ago. I don't think we would be dropping any technologies or anything, or rolling back the camera and get back to 100% operated BPOs. I don't think this is the case. And I don't think the opposite is the case, where we will have no human interaction and AI will be taking care of everything. I don't think this is going to happen in the foreseeable future, at least for our segment or sector. So this is why I think it is going to be hybrid. And as you have asked, the management, or the managers who are dealing with this for their own organizations, I think it is the best course of action is to be open minded about the new coming business models, because as I have put it, it has huge advantages. And we generally receive questions like, how do you ensure the technical issues, the security, data security? I mean, I'm not going to get into the technical details of it, but we're using Microsoft Azure and Terramind and this and that to make sure that there's no leakage, and we're 100% secure. So we're actually no different than a classical BPO in that sense. And but apart from that, we have huge bonuses uh, because of the model that we're working with, which gives us a huge flexibility. Like I said, an increase in the quality and a decrease in the cost.
Yeah.
So we can rapidly increase our size. We can rapidly decrease our size depending on the needs.
Yeah. It I mean, one of the biggest blockers is just as simple as it's not what I'm used to. Meaning that you'll have, especially an enterprise executive, that goes, I get it. This all makes sense. But guess what I can't do? Totally bend my arm for you. And so the ability to have the one contract, the ability to look like the BPO, but then maybe a little campaign called looks like a BPO, has the results of a flexible workforce, right? And the benefits of cost and scalability obviously outweigh. Now, the last question I have for you, Jenna, is related to Turkey and the region. So you're working with customers all over the globe, yet you're headquartered in Turkey. What what are the advantages, the disadvantages? Why should a US company care about hiring out of Turkey? Why not India or Asia? Tell us about what's special about Turkey.
Absolutely. So the reason being that we have set up our company in Turkey is that we have a huge repository of human talent. I mean, we have a very highly educated people. Depending on the subject, we can pretty much find anything and everything that we need, from technical people to regular people who can do the business. And the second one is the average age in Turkey is quite still young, and we are having hundreds of thousands of people graduating from universities. And I mean, it's not only Turkey but all across the globe now. It is harder and harder to get onto a land into a job and start making money out of this, and this gives a lot of problems for young people. What we offer is our actually our model is, it doesn't have to be the single line of work for people. It can be the second job. It can be the single line of work, this and that. So it's hugely flexible. So in a nutshell, in Turkey we have huge numbers of people available that could work for us, which are who are actually highly educated. And as I mentioned, especially for foreign languages, we have millions of Turkish people living, actually born and raised in Europe, various parts of it, and they're coming back to Turkey. Like I said, almost like 100,000 people per year. and this gives us like I said, huge resource. And but apart from that, our aspiration is to be a global company coming out of Turkey. I mean, we have already set it up our companies within Europe, and we are about to complete our setting up of our company in UK and US as well. And we already have customers from those regions. So our vision for the future is to be able to operate in Europe, UK, and US. And we already have started to hire people to work with us, and we already have onboarded a number of customers coming from those regions. So the beauty of our business model is we're not bound to any geolocation. We can work our job from anywhere in the world. So this is, like I said, giving us a huge flexibility, and we can see that the future of work is changing rapidly, and we would like to name ourselves one of the pioneers within the CX sector, and manage the change or lead the change, and actually create a meaningful difference within people's lives as well as ours.
I love it. I love it. Listen, Cüneyt, got one more question, and all of me still wants to keep asking about Istanbul, but I've kept myself at bay. It's really, really hard. Actually, I never told you this. The book on our coffee table is all about the Ottoman Empire, so it's like 500 pages. When you come over, when you stay in Atlanta, you'll see it. But my last question for you, and listen, our audience is, as you know, they're all looking for the right flexible talent solution. And so within the CX vertical, for you listeners, please go reach out to Cüneyt on LinkedIn and everywhere. But what would be that one thing that every single listener should do right now? Should they go email their boss? Should they go identify a number of internal recs? Should they go try to unlock a specific budget? What is the one piece of advice that you have for all of our listeners to do right now?
Uh, First of all, I know this is going to sound weird, but they should probably grab a cup of coffee and start contemplating or reflecting on their line of businesses. I mean, the difficulties that they have gone through, which is like spending most of the times in their offices, and the legacy systems, the hardship of that kind of work, and this and that, and try to grasp the idea of having a flexible workforce under their management, and the rewarding aspects of those kind of business model. What could be the rewarding aspects? So this is I think number one, because the change actually starts with you. I mean, if the change is imposed from outside, you most of the time have a defense for it. But if you start within, if you start from yourself, it is much more easier to make the change, because you change yourself first. So, like I said, I know it is kind of philosophical, but it is what it is. I mean, first, I really urge people to reflect on their own business life, and try to figure out how better could it get with a flexible workforce, and then they can reach out to our channels. They can reach out to our website, which is champcx.com, and no matter where they reach us, we are able to cater our services and paint them the picture that they need to see, because once you start talking about it, people go like, wow, I didn't know that. Because most of the time they have prejudices, thinking that fractional workers are not easy to control, have technological issues, the regular stuff, but which is not the case. I mean, We have people who had corporate life for, I don't know, maybe for 20 years and then decided to come work with us. And they're highly educated. They're very straightforward about their jobs, and they make money and make a life out of it. So yeah, I mean, this is basically it.
I love it. Well, Cüneyt, thank you, everyone. Like you mentioned, go to champcx.com, go reach out to you on LinkedIn. First of many. And I can't stress enough how important customer experience is, right? And the power of a single conversation to make that customer spend 10x what they were going to spend. I always come back to my first experience of Delta, of literally, I did not have any loyalty to them. I was so pissed off. And somehow the customer experience was so good that now it's all I fly. So, Cüneyt, thank you on behalf of everyone here at Human Cloud, and we will talk soon, my friend.
Yeah, Matt, it's been a genuine pleasure. Thank you for having me again, and thank you for everyone who listens to us.